What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are breaking down the main card and prelims for UFC Shanghai. This is a very interesting event from top to bottom. We've got undefeated prospects looking to make a name for themselves, experienced veterans trying to stay relevant, dangerous strikers, elite grapplers, and a huge main event with serious implications at bantamweight. The card takes us all the way from the early prelims to a massive showdown between Umar Nurmagomedov and Yadong. So we are going through every fight, breaking down the matchups, looking at what each fighter brings to the table, and then I'll give you my official pick and the final reason why I'm making that choice. Let's get right into it. We are starting the card with a fascinating matchup between experience and youth. Ding Men comes into this fight with a massive amount of professional experience, while Cameron Nelson is still early in his career and looking to make a statement on one of the biggest stages of his life. This is the kind of fight where experience can be a major advantage, but younger fighters can also bring unpredictability, hunger, and the confidence of someone who hasn't been through as many wars. Ding Men has been competing professionally for a long time, and with that comes a level of experience that is difficult to replicate. He has seen different styles, fought through difficult moments, and understands how to survive when a fight doesn't go according to plan. That could be extremely important against a younger opponent who may try to push a fast pace early. On the other side, Cameron Nelson has the advantage of being the fresher fighter with significantly less middle-age. He doesn't have the same number of professional fights, but that can sometimes mean an opponent has fewer opportunities to identify his weaknesses. If Nelson can bring speed, pressure, and confidence into this matchup, he could make life difficult for the more experienced veteran. My official pick is Ding Men to win. The biggest reason I'm taking Ding is that this feels like a moment where experience could make the difference in a fight between someone with decades of accumulated cage experience and a fighter still trying to establish himself. I trust the veteran to make better decisions when the momentum starts changing. Next up, we have a women's strawweight matchup between Yadong and Julia Polastri. Both fighters are looking to build momentum, and this is an important opportunity for either woman to take another step forward. These are the types of fights where one strong performance can completely change the perception of a fighter. A dominant victory here could create serious momentum moving forward. Xiong enters this matchup with an impressive record and the confidence that comes from winning consistently. Fighting in China also adds another interesting element to this matchup. She will have the energy of the local crowd behind her, and sometimes that atmosphere can give a fighter an extra push when a fight gets difficult. Polastri, however, is not coming to Shanghai simple to participate. She is an experienced professional with a strong record and an opportunity to silence an entire arena. She will need to remain calm in a potentially hostile environment and avoid allowing the crowd or the moment to influence her decision making. My official pick is Xiong to win. My final reason for choosing Xiong is momentum. Fighters who are building confidence through consistent victories can become extremely difficult to deal with, especially when they are competing in front of their home crowd and have a chance to create a memorable moment. Now we move to Lawrence Louis against Hector Santiago. This is another matchup featuring a fighter with an unbeaten record against an opponent looking to prove that records don't tell the entire story. An undefeated record always creates attention, but it also creates pressure. The question is whether Louis can continue protecting that zero, or whether Santiago can become the first man to hand him a loss. Lawrence Louis has looked impressive during his professional run, and an undefeated record usually tells you one important thing. The fighter knows how to find ways to win. Whether the fight becomes technical, chaotic, or difficult, he has managed to live with his hand raised every single time. Santiago comes into this fight with fewer wins, but that doesn't mean he should be underestimated. Fighters in this position often compete with a dangerous mindset because they have less to lose. If Santiago can make this fight uncomfortable and prevent Louis from settling into this usual rhythm, he could turn this into a much tougher matchup than the record suggests. My official pick is Lawrence Louis to win. I'm choosing Louis because I believe confidence can be a powerful weapon when a fighter has never experienced defeat. There is often a certain belief that they can solve whatever problem appears in front of them, and I think that mentality could help him find another victory here. This is a bantamweight fight between Xiaolong and Francesco Nuzzi, and stylistically this could become one of those fights where patience is just as important as aggression. Both men have built impressive records, and a win here could give either fighter valuable momentum moving forward. Xiao Long has already built significant experience inside the professional game with a large number of victories. He's had more opportunities to develop his composure and understand how to handle different types of opponents. Fighting at home could also give him additional confidence, particularly if the fight becomes competitive late. Nusi, however, enters with a very strong record of his own and should have plenty of confidence coming into this matchup. He has fewer fights than Long, but that doesn't automatically mean less ability. Sometimes a younger career means a fighter is still improving rapidly and hasn't yet reached his full potential. My official pick is Xiao Long to win. The reason I'm leaning towards Xiaolong is simple that I believe this event is a big opportunity for him to take advantage of familiarity and the environment around him. Fighting in front of your own supporters can create a completely different level of energy, and I think he will use that moment well. Now, this is a very interesting featherweight matchup. Jack Jenkins and Sean Woodson bring completely different physical characteristics and approaches into the octagon, which makes this one of the more intriguing style clashes on the card. The biggest question is whether Jenkins can consistently close the distance or whether Woodson can use his range to make the fight extremely uncomfortable. Jenkins is a tough fighter who has shown that he is willing to work hard and make fights physical. Against a long opponent, however, getting inside safely becomes incredibly important. He cannot simply walk forward without a plan because giving Woodson clean opportunities at range could become a major problem. Woodson's length is always one of his biggest weapons. He can make opponents travel through a lot of danger before they can reach him, and when he establishes his rhythm, he can become very difficult to read. His challenge will be avoiding extended exchanges, where Jenkins can turn the fight into something more physical. My official pick for this fight is Sean Woodson to win. I'm taking Woodson because I think range management will be the deciding factor. If one fighter can force the other to fight from an uncomfortable distance for most of the contest, that can slowly take away confidence and completely change the way that fight develops. Now, this is one of the fights I am most excited to watch on the prelims. Ray Tsuruya is one of the most interesting young talents in the division, while Kevin Borjas has the opportunity to spoil the momentum and hand him a major setback. Young prospects are always exciting because every fight tells us a little more about how high their ceiling really is. Suruya's biggest strength is that he looks like a fighter with a very complete foundation. He has shown the ability to work his way through positions and force opponents to constantly defend themselves. For Borjas, giving Suruya too much control could be a disaster because it allows him to dictate where the fight takes place. Borjas needs to make his moments count. Against a younger fighter with serious momentum, he cannot afford to spend the entire fight reacting. He will need to create doubt, force exchange on his terms, and take advantage of any moments where Tsuruya becomes predictable. My official pick for this fight is Rei Tsuruya to win. I am going with Tsuruya because I believe he has the greater upside at this point in his career. This is a fighter who still appears to be developing, and that's a dangerous thing when you are already competing at a high level because every performance could reveal another layer to his game. To close out the prelims, we have Namsarai Badbayar against Andre Lima. This is a flyweight matchup between two fighters with impressive records, and Andre Lima entered as one of the more recognizable recent names on this part of the card. This will be a very important fight because the flyweight division continues to develop, and a strong victory could push either man into bigger opportunities. But Bayar brings an unbeaten record into this fight, and that alone makes him a dangerous opponent. You never truly know how far an undefeated fighter can go until he starts facing increasingly difficult competition. His confidence will be high and he will believe he can continue his run. Andre Lima has already gained valuable experience competing at this level. That experience could be crucial because there is a difference between building an undefeated record and understanding the pressure of performing under the biggest light. Lima knows what these moments feel like, and that could help him remain composed. My official pick for this fight is Andre Lima to win. My final reason for taking Lima is his ability to handle the occasion. This isn't just about who has the better record on paper. I believe Lima has a stronger understanding of what it takes to perform when the stakes rise, and that could give him the edge in a close fight. Now we are getting into the main card and we are opening with a battle between two undefeated fighters. Bilal Hassan against Nilton Rojas means that somebody's perfect record is coming to an end. These are always exciting fights because both men are used to winning. Neither fighter wants to be the first person to discover how they respond after suffering a loss. Sang has been perfect so far, and fighters carrying that kind of record often enter the cage with enormous confidence. He knows how to win and hasn't had to experience the disappointment of defeat. The challenge is whether he can maintain that composure when he finally faces someone who refuses to back down. Nilson Rojas is in exactly the same position. He is also undefeated, meaning this isn't a matchup where one man has a psychological advantage simply because of his record. Both fighters believe they are the better prospect, and that could lead to an extremely competitive and emotional contest. So my official pick for this fight is by Bilal Hassan to win. I am making this pick because I believe Hassan might be better prepared for the pressure of protecting his record. In fights where both athletes have never lost, sometimes the difference comes down to who can stay mentally composed when the first truly difficult moments arrive. Heavyweights are next, and you already know what that means. At heavyweight, one punch can change absolutely everything. Liu takes on Junior Tafa in a matchup where neither fighter will need a huge number of opportunities to create a finish. Liu has the home advantage and an opportunity to create a major moment in front of the Chinese fans. Heavyweight fights are often about patience because throwing everything early can leave a fighter exposed. Liu needs to remain disciplined and avoid turning this into a reckless exchange unless he sees the perfect opening. Junior Tafa brings obvious danger because of his size and power. He doesn't need to dominate every minute of the fight to be dangerous. One clean shot can completely change the story. That's what makes facing a heavyweight striker so difficult. You can be winning the fight until one mistake erases everything. So my official pick for this fight is Junior Tafa to win. The reason I'm taking Tafa is simple. I trust his ability to capitalize on a single opening. Heavyweight MMA is often decided by who can take advantage of one mistake first, and I believe Tafa has the explosiveness to do exactly that. This is a very important flyweight matchup between Alex Perez and Sumu Daerji. Perez brings veteran experience and has competed against high-level opposition, while Sumu Daerji gets the chance to make a statement in front of the home fans. This could be one of the more technically interesting fights of the night. Perez has been in high-pressure situations before, and that experience matters. He's faced elite competition and understands how quickly momentum can change at the top level. That should allow him to remain calm even if Sumu Daerji starts quickly and receives a huge reaction from the crowd. Sumu Daerji will have plenty of motivation fighting in China. The crowd will be behind him, and he knows that a win over an experienced opponent like Perez will be a significant moment for his career. The question is whether emotion helps him rise his performance or causes him to rush. My official pick for this fight is Alex Perez to win. I'm choosing Perez because I value proven experience in a matchup like this. When fights become tactical and neither athlete can immediately find success, I trust the fighter who has spent more time navigating difficult situations against established competition. This is one of the biggest fights on the entire card. Aori Killen gets a huge opportunity against former Japanese star Kaya Sakura, and the Shanghai crowd should make this matchup even more interesting. There is serious pressure on both fighters here. Aori Killen wants a career-defining victory while Asakura needs to show why he remains one of the most dangerous names in the lighter weight classes. Aori Killen will have to fight intelligently because Asakura is at his best when opponents become predictable. The Chinese fighter has to use the crowd energy without allowing himself to become reckless. If he can make this a disciplined performance, he has an opportunity to test Asakura in every area. Asakura meanwhile brings real finishing danger. He is the type of fighter who can change a contest quickly, and that means Aori Killuen cannot switch off for even a second. Asakura's ability to create explosive moments makes him dangerous regardless of whether he's ahead or behind on the scorecards. My official pick for this fight is Kai Asakura to win. I'm going with Asakura because I believe he has a greater ability to create a decisive moment. In a fight where both men may have competitive stretches, I prefer the fighter who I believe is more likely to suddenly change the entire fight with one sequence. Now we have a huge women's strawweight fight between Yang Xiaonan and Denise Gomez. Yang enters this fight with tremendous experience and the support of the home crowd, while Gomez represents a dangerous younger generation trying to climb the division. This is experience against momentum, and those are always fascinating matchups. Yang Xiaonan has spent years competing against some of the best fighters in the world. She understands the pressure of major fights, knows how to fight over 3 rounds, and has developed the composure that only comes from competing at the highest level. Denise Gomez, however, has been building her own momentum and brings a different type of danger. Younger fighters often improve rapidly, and Gomez has the opportunity to show that she belongs against an established name. If she can impose herself early, this could become very interesting. My official pick for this fight is Yang Xiaonan to win. The deciding factor for me is the moment itself. Fighting in a huge event in your home country can be overwhelming, but Yang has enough experience to understand how to turn that pressure into motivation instead of allowing it to become a distraction. And now it's time for the main event. Umar Nurmagomedov against Song Yadong is a massive bantamweight clash, and this fight has serious implications for the future of the division. Umar is one of the most complete fighters at 135 pounds, while Song is one of the most dangerous strikers in the sport and will be fighting in China with an entire nation behind him. This is the kind of matchup that makes MMA so exciting. Elite grappling and control against speed, power, and explosive striking. One mistake from either fighter could completely change everything. Umar's game is incredibly difficult to deal with because opponents have to worry about so many different threats. He can strike from range, use kicks, change level, wrestle, and force opponents to constantly think about where the next attack is coming from. That uncertainty can become exhausting because Song cannot simply focus on defending one weapon. But Song Yadong is absolutely dangerous enough to change this fight with his hands. He has speed, power, and the ability to hurt opponents when they make mistakes, entering range. The biggest opportunity for Song may come during the transitions. If Umar becomes too predictable with his entries, Song has the explosiveness to make him pay immediately. So my official pick for this fight is Umar Nurmagomedov to win. I'm taking Umar because I believe he has more ways to win this fight. Even if one area isn't working perfectly, he has the ability to make adjustments and change the type of fight he is creating. That versatility gives me more confidence in him over the course of a 5-round main event. And those are my predictions for UFC Shanghai. This card has a lot of interesting matchups, some dangerous underdogs, undefeated prospects putting their records on the line, and of course a huge main event between Umar Nurmagomedov and Song Yadong. But now I want to hear from you. Who do you have winning the main event? Can Song Yadong defend his home territory and pull off the upset, or does Umar Nurmagomedov prove once again why he is one of the best bantamweights in the world? Let me know all of your picks down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more MMA predictions, news, and fight breakdowns, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the fights, and let's see how many of these picks we can get right.